70 degrees, 7:30 a.m. Good morning, Rex. We're gonna go for a little walk, okay? It's kind of noisy out back here, so we're gonna go down to the field. So it's not in a hurry Sunday, right, T-Rex? Even though we have to travel, it's Auntie Ginny's birthday. Wishing you the best, Auntie Ginny. We're gonna go for a walk. I keep running into Old Glory right there. Keep forgetting. And we're gonna go down the road, T-Rex. Looks like we get sunshine and cirrus and a little less smoke. There was some serious smoke yesterday. So it's a pretty crowded community here, very nice. And this lawn is all naturally green, as in no irrigation. I thought we'd come down here so we wouldn't bother anybody. And guess what? No matter where you go, you're probably interrupting someone else's peace and quiet. Sorry about that, turkeys. I saw a family of turkeys down the road yesterday that had about 12 poults that were about 3 inches tall. So these are not them. And T-Rex hasn't noticed yet. So this morning, regional roundup. The warmest temperatures are in the Champlain Valley at 6 a.m. I always talk about how that is a sign that warm air advection is happening in New England. 73 and 74 at Burlington and Highgate. The dew point still mostly in the 50s and 60s, but you do see a dew point of 70 now in southern Rhode Island. So humidity is coming up, the heat is on, there are heat advisories in effect in the lower elevations of western New England and most of New Hampshire, southern Maine, and Massachusetts. For temperatures 90 to 95 today with a dew point climbing up only into the 60s, though. It's not going to be as humid as it was during that last heat wave, at least initially today. And then tomorrow the dew point is going to come up. The first tropical cyclone of the season made landfall in the United States. It's the third tropical cyclone, but this one came ashore in the lower 48, right on the border with South Carolina and North Carolina this morning. Tropical Storm Chantal. It was strengthening, looking like a healthy storm, only 1,002 millibars, but it doesn't take many millibars to generate sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, according to the National Hurricane Center. Most of the surface reports, though, only showed wind gusts of 50 to 56 miles per hour. There are the wind gusts this morning. Thank you, Andrew. And there was a storm chaser at just first light there on the border with North Carolina and South Carolina, and reporting, some broken branches. Things are really whipping around. And the view from space of Chantal this morning, very symmetrical. Warm core storm. These warm core storms don't have to have that low of a pressure to create that much wind. It's the nature of the storm coming in off the ocean where there's no friction, but once it gets inland and it encounters hills and trees and land and loses the fuel source, which is the ocean, it weakens. And that's the story for Chantal. It's going to weaken, but it's going to meander in our direction toward New England. Separate from Chantal, we've been talking about the possibility for a long period swell, and it's out there. It's not very big, but this morning at 4:20, the Nantucket buoy, about 54 miles south of Nantucket, reported 2.3 feet at 16 seconds. That is a long period swell. I checked out the warm winds surf cam at Narragansett Town Beach. There was one person there in the lower left. I saw him catch a wave, so small knee-high waves and long period, that can be really fun, but it's barely reaching up to the south of Long Island and Block Island and maybe Nantucket today. But the wind is going to strengthen from the southwest, so what fun is that? T-Rex, stop. He was just laying down. Stay. Rex, sit. Good boy. And the turkeys, we've got a mutual understanding. Turkeys over there, dog over here, TK over here doing the weather. And what a nice day it is today. If you like heat, I guess. I'm just sitting here saying, wow, what a beautiful day it is. But so many things to talk about. The remnant of Chantal is going to come our way. There's a front coming at us from Canada. So this week it's going to be trying to decide what's in control. Remnant of a tropical storm, high pressure to our south, or high pressure to our north. Well, today we're between all of those things. The high pressure system that's in control today is over Virginia, and that's where the heat comes from when the circulation clockwise around these highs comes in. A front to the north, and a chance of thunderstorms. Could be some severe weather from northern Vermont into central Maine today with this front that's going to come down, and then it's going to be the high pressure system coming out of Canada that's going to take over control of our weather, and the front's not going to go so far as we clear out, so it's looking like a fairly gloomy week. I don't even want to show you the GFS. The GFS says after tomorrow, the only sunshine in southern New England is going to be about Wednesday through next weekend. Here's the Euro meteogram, and it shows the temperature today in the lower 90s. But note the dew point, the blue line, kind of flat and even dipping down a little bit in the 60s. And then tomorrow, the dew point comes up through the 60s, and then tomorrow night to 70. And then on Tuesday, temperature is still near 90. And you see that triangle with the exclamation point in it? That's a strong to severe thunderstorm right in Boston on Tuesday, even as the remnant of Chantal is going to be very close to southeastern Massachusetts. And then the air is going to come in from the east starting Tuesday night. And Wednesday, all the guidance is kind of bullish on a nice Wednesday. After the heat goes away, Wednesday could be the nicest day of the week with a temperature only in the 70s and a dew point falling into the 60s. And then the dew point and the temperature come together. The GFS would have us staying below 70 degrees into next weekend, but the Euro is a little more optimistic with a few breaks of sunshine, but the wind is coming in from the east most of that time into the weekend now. Kind of variable next weekend, but that's as I've been talking about, real big moving target. What are you doing, Rex? He was just upside down. No, we're still here. We're not done yet. Update on the turkeys. They're doing fine. We're all good. All right, so you want to talk about the threat for severe weather today. The Severe Storm Prediction Center puts Maine in a marginal zone, so we're going to have strong thunderstorms and marginally severe thunderstorms possible. T-Rex is doing it again. T-Rex, what are you doing? He's ready to go, but he was just bathing in the grass as T-Rex does. And then the threat for severe weather is going to press south, and we're going to monitor the NAM high res. We do this, and it does show severe weather, but it rarely gets the position and timing right on these things. So there are some showers coming into Maine today. There's a front just settling south with high pressure in Canada, gradually taking over very slowly, though, from north to south. At about 4 or 5 o'clock today, there are strong to severe thunderstorms showing up over the northern Green Mountains and broken line almost through New Hampshire and Maine. So we may have a squall line developing this afternoon and evening, and I call them diurnal. Maybe they hold together past sunset. I got in trouble with that one last week with all that damage in Buzzards Bay. Boy, I didn't even realize some of my friends were going to go camping there around Buzzards Bay, and some of the campsites were just devastated by those storms. And I'm not saying that's happening here, but it's the nature of these beasts. And then tomorrow, the front is across northern Vermont again, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that front's going to gradually press south. And then tomorrow night, you see the 576 gradually slipping south. Here comes the 570 thickness. So there's the cooling trend, 564 showing up now at the Canadian border. And this goes out to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, and that is the remnant of Chantal. About 1,012 millibars going by and east of Cape Cod on Tuesday. It didn't show very much precipitation with it, did it? I think that's underestimated the precipitation, but let's look at what the NAM shows us for QPF, quantitative precipitation, how much rain, and there it is crossing Maine and then Vermont and New Hampshire this afternoon and evening, and tomorrow more scattered storms mostly in northern New England. Now we're starting to see some of that rain come in from the southwest tomorrow night, and then on Tuesday it takes us out to 2 o'clock. And once again, oh, this is deja vu. Look at that. It shows no precipitation from Lake Winnipesaukee to the Merrimack River in northeastern Massachusetts. And that's what it showed us about 4 or 5 days ago. And we ended up with a ½ inch of rain right in there. So again, the nature of these things, they can move around. And this is just an estimate that some people are going to get 1 to 2 inches of rain with the purple, especially in northern New England and especially near Cape Cod and the islands. So when these storms come up, the nature of a tropical cyclone is for the rain to be on the west side and the wind to be on the east side, but this one's going to be a remnant, so it could be more symmetrical with not much wind at all, really, and rain could surround the whole thing, especially because it's going to be phasing with that front that's coming into New England. We'll watch how that plays out on the Euro. Well, we didn't even show the satellite yet, did we? So there's the New England satellite showing a lot of clouds. They're high, thin clouds, much less smoke in our sky than there was yesterday. I forgot to talk about the smoke, and here's the view from the ground, and you can see there's very little smoke, but you've got varying clouds where it's mostly blue there off to the southwest, and then off to the northwest it's mostly gray. So elements of sun and clouds and tending to be brighter, and a beach day for sure. And on Cape Cod, when the southwest wind happens, go to the north side of Cape Cod, much less windy today, and there should be a good amount of sunshine. And here's the view of Chantal from space this morning, and quite a symmetrical storm there. It's now inland in South Carolina. I didn't check for damage reports, but most of the wave heights were in the order of 5 to 10 feet down there with that. And that's totally separate from the long period swell that came across north of the equator from that high pressure system in the central Atlantic Ocean. So a very unusual long period swell, even though it's very small. It did verify. Okay, now to the Euro, and this is the big picture where we talk about the synoptic scale. The red lines are the thicknesses, and oh, did I mention we're near an airport right here? Look at this, wow. It's closer than Weymouth. Jet just taking off there. It's UPS. Here comes your UPS, or there goes your UPS. We break for birds. That's a big bird, a T-Rex. Isn't that a big bird? He loves to chase birds. Can't catch the plane? This is not watered. We get dandelions. I saw some mushrooms in here. My feet are getting wet. So there's an adequate amount of water in parts of New England, but other parts of New England are parched and could use the rain. And boy, is there a lot of rain in the forecast just about every day. Pardon me. Here's the Euro, synoptic scale, back to that. Pivotal weather, and there's the remnant of Chantal in the bottom there, weakening, and it's just a remnant low coming across North Carolina, and that's moving towards the north slowly off the coast of New Jersey tomorrow night. At the same time, a front from Canada, so now high pressure in Canada is going to start taking over, and the high pressure to our south is going to be not in charge, so that means our air is going to come in from the north and northeast. At the Canadian border, where it's raining off and on next couple of days, it probably dries out nicely for some really nice weather here Tuesday. But look at that. Slow it down there. It's only 1,012 millibar, but that's the remnant of Chantal going right over Nantucket and then appearing to jump to the Maine coast. So that's the phasing of the remnant tropical plume of moisture in our front. So high stakes for downpours and thunderstorms. Not expecting huge severe thunderstorms, but there could be some localized flash flooding happening around here with that plume of dew points coming into the mid 70s. And then it looks like Wednesday we do get some time off from both the front and the tropical connection. That high in Canada now taken over, and it's in no hurry to leave. There's an upper level low cool pool aloft forming over most of Quebec, and it looks like it's almost trying to back in here, and more waves of low pressure coming at us. This has been here on the signal for us for some time, with low pressure going south of us Thursday into Friday, almost looking and feeling like a bit of a nor'easter, July style, with temperatures perhaps only in the 60s on Cape Cod with some off and on rain there Thursday into Friday, and we're all vulnerable. Pardon me. And then, oh, break for a cute dog here. Yeah. The weekend, next weekend, is a tough call. It looks like it's trying to be okay weekend, but the flow is still going to be onshore. That high pressure system to our north and east still kind of in control. And then late Sunday into next Monday, look at this. There's another low forming on sort of the subtropical front. I'm not saying it's going to be a tropical cyclone, but another low going just south of us next Sunday night into Monday. Sunday night into Monday. And then this takes us out now to Tuesday, July 15th, right? The middle of July. And the front is not far. We still have kind of an onshore flow there with showers and thunderstorms possible all the way out there, even though the 570 and 576 thickness is here. That just means there's a rich amount of energy. So anytime it does rain, it can really rain hard. And if we show the Euro QPF, how much rain coast to coast, you got it coming at us from both directions, coming at us from Canada. And there's the rain across northern New England, then coming at us from the remnant of Chantal in the front settling into the south coast of New England on Tuesday. There's more there. And then we go through Wednesday, not much going on in New England. Thursday, Friday, another batch coming through here. Maybe it lets up a little bit on Saturday, hopefully, and then Sunday. And then next Monday and Tuesday. We concluded at 234 hours, which is 2 p.m. on Tuesday. It shows a lot of red around. Red would be 2 inches, and even some signs of yellow, which would be 2 to 4 inches. And if this is right, the least amount of rain happens on the Maine coast. But as we always say, this is a moving target. All right, that's the weather. I hear a mourning dove. T-Rex is eager to get home for breakfast, as is TK. It's not in a hurry Sunday, but we do have to travel back to Steve and Mitt. Yesterday, it was a fun day. Just we're showing us around here. We went flower shopping. We got some vegetable plants at the Frizz home. nursery and farm up the road here. That was quite nice. I love this. And we went for ice cream. Yay, ice cream. Always want to go to ice cream at least once or twice a summer. And I needed some coolant for the modern car. And it's like now worse than trying to find light bulbs for your house. How many different kinds of coolant there are. It took 2 people at Riley's on Google and Reddit to figure out which kind of, I needed pink coolant. Oh boy. And then we went to the wedding. Congratulations, Ashley and Joe. Thanks for hosting us. It was really fun. All ages there, grandkids, moms and dads, aunts and uncles, family and friends, and the band. Bite the Bullet put on a great show for us, and we did a lot of dancing, but I turned the camera off for the most part. I'm not going to share the dance floor, but we had a good time there. And these things, they get these toys that lit up, these styrofoam. What a great idea for having a party with music and a few adult beverages and these toys. So that was really fun. And I'm not sure how I'm going to conclude. Max Dex shared some fireworks over Mount Mansfield, so I think I'll throw in some of those fireworks. I think that was probably Friday night, right, Max? And that's beautiful over the mountain. And so thanks for sharing that. And that's it. Not a lot of it and more. Hopefully get this done and out with less than 20 minutes. And like I always like to say, it is a video to nap by. All right, T-Rex, there's a squirrel over there. You want to go get it? Oh, he doesn't see it. All right, and more from yesterday. We're going skiing. Kidding. But where's hosting us this weekend? We really appreciate that. And more. Just got hit by a flag. Always happy. Wow, what happened to the sky? I forgot to talk about it. So many distractions this morning. But here we are on our Saturday, and the smoke plume has moved in. So that's a combination of smoke and cirrus and stratus in the sky. But it's quite nice. Still low humidity. And we're going for a walk around the hood. Into the forest. There we go. Plenty of room at the pool. Let's do it. Forgot to talk about surf and smoke today. Yesterday, now. T-Rex, want to play some tennis? Hi. What is this? Look at that. Going back in time. Waves.
It's a piece of granite, it looks like.
Granite outcropping.
It looks like there's a face there. You see?
I know, it does.
Oh, this side.
Yeah.
Neat. I love it.
Oh, maybe it's an old dinosaur head.
If I had,
Let's go swimming and skating.
if I had my way,
Oh.
I would basically
There's something swimming over there.
what it would cost to drain it and dredge it.
Any alligators?
Where is it? See dragonflies, hear the birds. I love this. So they need a fountain in here to keep the oxygen level up. What's that word for a water body that's starved for oxygen? I forget. There's a scientific name for it. Where's the frog? It's close. Oh well, I have to settle for the sound. $12:30. Wedding is not till the evening, so let's go do a little flower shopping. Frizz Home Gardens. Oh, you don't want poke in your garden. Mind if I take a little poke at your poke? Very pretty though. Back River Road, Merrimack. This is Weir's neighborhood. And there's a flower pot for you, huh? John Deere. John Deere, not John Deere. John Deere. Oh dear. We got a tree down. There's been some pretty gusty thunderstorms lately. Nothing we can't rebuild. What do we have here? Oh, this is a flowering pear. Love those. I don't know if it'll fit in the car, but I would love a flowering pear tree. Looks like some lilacs. We're just not even in the door yet. Hey Jim, we're just flower shopping here with Weir up in New Hampshire, and we're in the tropical greenhouse, and I thought of you because you like the succulents. You have one of these? I about one of these? How about one of these? Horrible what's happening in Texas. It's just unbelievable. So, getting our mind off of that. Everything must go. I'm kidding, but 50% off all this. Where? Ever grow peppers? Yeah. How about tomatoes already going? Already red. Mind if I do? Welcome to Friz Home Gardens. Jeff, FT.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, next up, yeah, we're doing it. We're on a little vacation here. It's time for some ice cream. Pink. You know how long it took to find out what kind of coolant we needed? Pink. That's the mulberry tree we talked about yesterday, and that was about a 15-minute ceremony. Beautiful, short and sweet, and a gorgeous evening. Tell you what, these are some nice restrooms, that's for sure. And this grass is not watered by anything else except for the clouds. And look at it. So there is green grass. And it was not only Derry that started off as nut field, but also parts of Windham and Manchester and Salem, and I can't remember all the towns, but were green. I think it was settled by the Irish. I think. Gotta check that. Mackerel sky, mackerel sky. Not 24 hours dry, but I think any raindrops should fall north of the Mount Washington Valley. Got the cardinals singing, beautiful sky waves. The moon's gonna be coming up over there. It's probably in those waves over there. Did Weir send us any video from his flight board foil on Half Moon Bay or Lake? Heat comes on for 48 hours. And then it's a real tough call what happens for the rest of the week. Gonna enjoy the wedding, show you some time lapses, have a little music. This is a provisional end of day narration. There could be more and more, depending on how it goes. But loving these sky waves, the songbirds, and the tint on the naturally green grass. Can you eat mulberries? Something must. If you never hear from me again, it's because I ate a mulberry and I wasn't supposed to. The twins and the baby carriage. Thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow.